Is anything hindering the deputy governor if the state assembly is saying, well, he's already in acting capacity, and you say he's not even shown that bite? He's not had one meeting, executive council meeting with members of the council in the state, to the extent that, well, developmental projects have all been stalled. So is there anything you think, maybe politically or externally, that is hindering the deputy governor or the acting governor of Enugu State from acting properly?
Yes, I think it's just that grand conspiracy, unquote, between the people on the corridors of power in Enugu State. I want to show you another thing that will now tell you why the deputy governor cannot act. See the speed with which the Speaker of the House, Honorable Eugene Odo, sprang up, and they defended that picture I described as phantom. Immediately he saw that picture, he took the position as the spokesperson of the government. In a normal democracy, is it supposed to be so? That the Speaker of Enugu House of Assembly, that's supposed to be the person that will check and balance the activities of the government, now turns himself into a spokesperson of the government, saying, now we've put our enemies to shame. Who are your enemies? People are agitating that their good governor should come back and they continue his good work. How do they become enemies in a democracy? You have your right to air your opinion. And he has never thought it wise to make a single statement about the Amansi issue. I want to tell you again, look at the issue of Enugu State. They have no head of service. If you don't know, you should know it now. If the deputy governor is actually working as acting governor, he ought to have sworn in a new head of service in Enugu State.
What do you think is delaying? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes,
what is delaying or stopping the deputy governor from acting?
They said there's this cabal that get up, they sack people unilaterally. You remember that the woman at the head of State Universal Basic Education came on air and they said that certain people are threatening her life, and ever since then, they removed that woman without a due cause. And nobody is in charge in Enugu State today. Why? Because they cannot be sworn in. So they've made it very, very impossible for the acting governor to work. And again,
you think that there is actually a cabal,
yes, of
behind that is stopping the deputy governor from becoming the acting governor?
Yes, and again, the deputy governor is not equally helping matters. Because I want to point out here that the deputy governor ran on the same platform with the governor as a deputy governor. And they got the mandate of the people of Enugu State. And I want to use this forum to advise the deputy governor of Enugu State that posterity will not be kind to him if he continues to carry along like this. A man dies, he who keeps silent in the face of tyranny. What is happening in Enugu today ought to have caught his attention to come up and then make whatever it needs to change the status quo. But they are all afraid.
But he can't do that illegally. He can only do that. We can do that with the backing of the state assembly. Oh. And from what you've just told us, it looks like well, the state assembly is also playing the executive arm. That's what you just said, exactly, according to your own statement.
Yes,
so how do you expect the deputy to come into acting capacity if the speaker is saying, well, all is well, and well, the enemies of the state have all been put to shame?
Well, I think in a democracy where you have...
Is he from a tribe or a place in Enugu that people ordinarily don't like? Because there are so many statements you get to see that people say, well, it's because of his affiliation to a particular ethnic group in Enugu. Is there any truth to that?
I don't think so. The same ethnic group, I want to be bare. The same ethnic group, they're telling you he's closer to Chimaro Kenama and stuff like that. Chimaro Kenama made all of them in Enugu State. They all belong to the same Ebano family. So what are they talking about? And again, when you talk about the doctrine of necessities, it's not as if this young man or the deputy governor wants at all costs to be a governor. It's the situation that has equally played out in Nigerian politics in the past. You know, he is a deputy governor, and I think from the way his courage, he is contented to be a deputy governor. I don't see him as a very ambitious person. Then if it happens that the governor is not around, and this doctrine of necessity now compel him to be governor, so be it.
All right. Are you saying that the deputy governor was not sworn in as acting governor
No.
since last year?
No,
He wasn't?
no. And if he was, I think you people should be the first to know, because we are the press.
Because there's a comment from Mr Chime who says Enugu deputy governor has been sworn in as acting governor since last year, but refuses to act,
It's a fabulous lie.
and that is his fault.
No, that is a fabulous lie. All that they are saying from our interaction with them is that because of the letter transmitted to them by His Excellency, Barrister Sullivan Chime, that automatically the deputy governor is acting governor. And we said no. If you are a police assistant commissioner and you have been promoted to deputy commissioner of police, before you become active, you must be decorated. That is the swearing in.
Okay, let's take a look at this report. He also talks about this whole scenario.
A picture of Governor Sullivan Chime with his colleagues from Akwa Ibom, Benue and Rivers State believed to have been taken recently in London. This is following a long silence on Governor Chime's absence by the Enugu State House of Assembly. Their silence, which may be described as similar to that of the Lamb, however helped to fuel speculations, giving birth to a group of concerned citizens, the Save Enugu group, who say their investigation has shown that Governor Chime is in a London hospital. Yet, they still have questions.
Because every of his maintenance, his overseas trip, his in vacation, and all this what they are telling us is from the public fund. It's not from his business or from any person's business. And those people ought to know. Those who have elected the governor ought to know where is he. And what we normally get from the government circle is that he went on an accumulated leave.
The Constitution is silent concerning the limit of time of absence for an ailing governor or president, so the Speaker of the Enugu State House of Assembly insists no law has been broken.
Constitution, Section 190 of the Constitution clearly states that if a governor is living on vacation or for any reason that the governor may not be able to discharge his functions, that such governor should transmit a letter to the House of Assembly, and until the contrary letter is transmitted, that the deputy governor will now act as the acting governor. That's exactly what is happening in Enugu State. So the much noise about empowering the deputy governor to be acting governor, I don't know whether there is double empowerment. The deputy governor of Enugu State has all the powers that a governor has, and as such, he's exercising same.
Where most of them had been less concerned, the residents of Enugu are now aware and want their governor back.
We are worried about his absence for some time now.
It has really slowed down the pace of certain developments in the state.
They are trying, but it's not as if to say that he's in town.
Since he's not around, things is like changing. Business are not going as if to say it's going before.
Unconfirmed reports say he will be back by the end of this month, but I guess whose report we believe doesn't really matter. The Constitution says the governor or deputy governor of a state shall cease to hold office if by a resolution passed by 2/3 majority of the members of the Executive Council of the state, it is declared that the governor or deputy is incapable of discharging the functions of his office. Would the members of the cabinet of the Enugu government be willing to pass that resolution? Only time will tell. Nell Tegbe, Channels Television News.